rolling, baby. We're remembering the claps now. I remembered for Tim Bailey's podcast first, and it was super helpful. So now you're the second clapping podcast, Mason. What's up,
Very
dude?
nice. What's up? What's up?
Appreciate you coming out, man. It's always cool when fighters like reach out to us wanting on the podcast for sure. So if you guys are watching and thinking, why are all these stout guys on the podcast lately? It's a pretty simple reason, and that's because the stout guys are showing initiative and asking to be on.
Right. Yeah, I seen some of your guys' I seen some of the podcasts, obviously, and I was like, it's nice. I got a nice little setup in here. You know, I was like, and then after the fight, like, you know, we always like do a post like appreciation for our coaches and stuff. I'm like, literally just have like too many people to thank. So I'm like, yeah, I think it'd be better if I just came on the podcast.
That
Like,
was
gave
sick.
everybody a little bit of shout out, you know.
Yeah, I love the way you did that, man. That was smart. Definitely got my attention. I was like, yeah, how about tomorrow? And then obviously I
Right.
got sick. You guys can probably still hear I'm pretty congested, but I feel
Things
better.
happen. It
Yeah.
happens, you know.
The turmeric and ginger, man. That's the
Did it work?
cayenne.
Did it
It
work?
must have. Like,
Did you start doing? You put a
yeah,
little bit
dude,
of.
the sore throat like went away instantly.
Mhm.
Fevers went away instantly. Now I'm just kind of stuffy in the head.
Yeah,
so
I'll just put it on everything.
That's
like
awesome.
eggs. Like if I'm doing my, you know, like whatever my weight cut diet is. Not this fight, but the two fights before that, I'd gotten sick. The first one was like a respiratory infection from doing. I do collision work on the
Okay.
side. That's been like my profession for the last decade. And then I'd got COVID for the second to last one. And
Yikes.
everything was just like cayenne pepper, turmeric, everything like. You know, tea with some honey, all that good stuff.
that's
Just, like,
awesome. All the natural remedies.
the natural remedies. is the
Dude,
way
they
to go.
work. I mean, there's something to it for sure.
Right.
Feels better for sure. But dude, you made weight pretty easily, it looked like, for this one, which I always think is interesting. Ryan has a thing with flyweights. He always gets afraid that flyweights are going to miss weight just because getting that low. But
Right.
you obviously made it, and you're also tall for a flyweight. So you're a much lankier build, I think, than most flyweights. Do you have
Yeah.
any problem getting to 25?
No, not really. Honestly, like I walk around at like 135 to 140.
That's crazy.
And I mean, like I wrestled throughout high school and stuff. I like knew how to cut weight, and I know like a fair amount about nutrition and diet and stuff like that. So I'll like taper myself down. You know, the weeks leading up to the fight, I'll just like eat a good clean diet with like good, you know, moderation of my portions and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And can you hear me good, Danny?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just make sure I'm on a good diet and taper myself down. I'll try to get like down to like 133 or something like that. Just kind of be floating around there, and then, you know, like water load, all that stuff. And then this has actually been the first time in a few years I've got to do day before weigh-ins, which was like super nice.
Mhm.
Usually it's like fight days on Saturday, weigh-ins are like 11 or 12 or whatever, you know, that morning. So it's like I'm doing a weight cut before, and it's like you have like some hours to recover and rehydrate and stuff, but it's not like, you know, day
Yeah.
before weigh-ins where you have like a moderate amount of time to really let your body absorb all the nutrients and,
Right.
you know, the fluids and everything you really need. So it was really nice. Yeah, like 25-1. I knew we had a pound, so I was in there. I was in cutting with Miguel and Tim in Zillionople, because we got a little bit bigger sauna. Like a newer
Okay,
sauna is
right
pretty
on.
nice. So we were just in there that morning, taking off last few pounds. It was nice.
No big deal.
No big deal.
It's good when you got your teammates. I mean, you guys had like a stout takeover on that Brawl in the Burgh 15 card. So
Yeah,
that
a little
was-
bit.
yeah.
Recently, it's been, you know, like Matt Factory Academy guys
Yeah,
stepping in. And we're like, all right, you know what? Let's get it going here. You know,
Well,
it's been good.
you guys did good. 4-1 on the evening. Obviously, a pretty
not too
good night.
shabby. Not
Yeah.
too shabby.
Your
Think-
fight. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think everybody put on. I went back and watched all the fights.
Yeah.
You know, I think almost every single fight on the card. I watched most of them, like all our guys as well, and everybody like did pretty well. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are hitting your stride right now, I would say. It's clear that Mike and Will got you guys really tuned in, the fight team.
Absolutely.
Dude, you in particular, because a lot of people thought with all the time off that you were going to be rusty. If we didn't know that storyline going in, I would have never thought that was a guy who hasn't fought in, you know, a year plus.
Right. Yeah. I just wasn't out of the gym altogether. You know, I wasn't like training. There was a period of time like I wasn't training as consistently. You know, like I'd still be in there like sparring to come in and, you know, get some of the classes in and stuff like that. I was still teaching, obviously.
Right.
but either it was just a period of time or there was like stuff going on at home. You know, like the COVID, when all that COVID stuff hit, things got like a little rough for me and my family as it did for like many other families, you know.
Definitely, yeah.
All over, all over the world.
For sure.
But yeah, just kind of finally things settled down and I kind of got back on the grind, got my stuff back together, been training, and I felt good, ready to go. Mike's like, all right, he seen me like training again and stuff. He's like, all right, you got my approval. Let's, whenever you're ready. I'm like, I'm ready. Let's get it.
Man, that's one thing I respect so much with Stout. And honestly, it's all the local gyms around here, but they don't throw guys in just to throw guys in to fight. Like I mean, full disclosure for people listening. Ryan always loves when I say full disclosure. So full disclosure, we've asked about you fighting a lot. And they're like, he's not ready. He's not training enough. We can't let him fight yet. So there's, as you know, there's a handful of flyweights available. So anytime a flyweight fight pops up, it's like, oh, what's Mason up to? Because you're like one of the guys that,
Right. Yeah, it wasn't like super good, like probably not a good look. My last couple fights with, being sick and less consistent with the training. And Mike's like, he reached out to me. He's like, I think you guys asked about me for a fight.
Yeah.
And he had to like decline. He reached out to me. He's like, Mace, I support you 100%, but until you get back to training consistently, we're gonna have to wait until you're. And I'm like, dude, I totally understand that. I mean, he's just doing what he's supposed to do. He's being a good coach.
Exactly.
And they hold us to a higher standard. And
For
I think
sure.
that's why we produce, we put on good show, good fights, because they're not just throwing us in there like, oh, we want to fight. They make sure we're ready.
Yeah. And we certainly appreciate that. Like you said, the fights are better, first of all, but we would never want somebody in there anyway that's not ready to fight.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense for anybody.
Yeah. This ain't like your average Joe's gym.
Right. So you guys definitely got a reputation to uphold. So now the question becomes, with that whole Stout versus Indio thing, you guys finished the year 13-1.
Mm-hmm.
They finished 7-0.
Mm-hmm.
They win the head-to-head, I guess, with Logan and Tanner. So...
Yeah.
I don't know how that voting is going to go, but I'm interested.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched that fight in particular. It was a good fight. It was a close fight.
For sure.
I also seen Tanner's podcast as well. I know Danilo through my cousin Robert Zhang.
Okay.
My cousin Robert Zhang, that's where I all kind of started. When I was like 4 years old, I started doing Taekwondo with my cousin.
Nice.
And I still train with him, like usually at least like once a week I go out and see him, just like that's like kind of like my heritage, with where it all began. But I know him and Danilo are, like, I don't know if they're like super tight, but I know they have like a good relationship and stuff. So I don't have any problem with Danilo. I think they have a good gym. And anytime I see him like backstage at the fights or something, we always greet each other. So like I personally don't have a problem with Indio Dojo. But I seen Tanner's interview and he did a good job. He did a good job. It was a great fight. I think it was a little closer than he, elaborated on. But no, regardless, it was a good fight. And that makes for good competition. Because we don't really have any beef with anybody.
No,
you know what I mean?
right.
We have a good relationship with basically everybody in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, Stout is such a central location with the MMA Saturdays and everything. Like, you guys are well known as the gym where everybody can come and train. So I don't think it's necessarily a beef thing, like you said, but what Tanner's doing is definitely fun, man. Like that will help the community.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I was like, I give the respect because he's like putting it out there, like
and bro,
he's
that's a
doing,
tough
he's like
fight.
starting, he's starting, you know what I mean? Like that's how you like sell a fight or get a fight.
Man.
You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
he's like making it a little bit entertaining, causing that little bit of drama without being like, like not like disrespectful.
Exactly.
But like,
how many times do you hear like a UFC fighter in their post-fight speech? Joe Rogan will even set them up like, "What's next for you?" And they're like, "Oh, whoever the UFC wants to give me, I'll fight anybody." Like that's kind of lame. But when you're like, "I want Lucas Siebert next," I'm watching you. Like that's awesome.
It's like, ooh,
and that's
get it going,
dude. Respect on that call out too, because nobody wants to just fight Lucas. Like,
right. Yeah, Lucas came. He came from Immortal, with the former training partner Josh Pereira and Matt Brown's team and everything. Super good gym, obviously, and he's been training with us and stuff. He's a good dude, and I see a lot of potential in him. You know, I've been like working with him, sparring with him. He's like
For sure.
one of my, you know, he's like my size. He's a little bit heavier than me. But he's like, we're like almost the same build.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. Very similar build
And,
for sure.
It's kind of funny. After his last fight, his opponent came up to me, you know, just like his opponent, and we were just like greeted, you know, good fight, man, and everything. He's like, hey, man, your brother. He's like, hey, man, your brother's a great fighter. I'm like, so I guess we look a little identical,
I
you
can
know, a
see
little
it,
bit
dude.
shaggy.
Honestly, now that you say it, I get it a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, if I didn't know you guys, I might think that too. I see it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The build is definitely similar.
Yeah, but no, that'll be interesting to watch for sure.
It's a great fight. You know, as
Yeah.
long as Lucas obviously has a fight coming up in February, if he gets out of that without injuries, we're good to go.
Right.
I think both sides have already agreed. Both coaches have agreed, as far as I know.
Right.
So that's showtime, baby, and that's good. It'll
Absolutely.
be advanced amateur
Yeah,
too
it's
for
good
both
the
of them.
Yeah, it's good for the promo. You know.
Love it, dude. With your
It'd be
fight
sweet.
in particular, I think you reminded people what everybody loves about you as a fighter. There was a little bit of everything Mason DeLess in that fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little bit.
Little Superman punch off the cage at one point.
Yeah, it didn't quite land. I kind of grazed him with
Yeah,
it, you
yeah.
know. But I was like, I thought about it before the fight. I'm like, because I like once in a while in sparring or stuff, you know, something will like get up against the wall. You know, I'll land it in sparring and
That's
stuff
awesome.
like that. I'm like, he puts me up against the cage. I'm just gonna jump off that thing.
That was sick.
Crack him. I just glanced him, but
I saw you like feel it with your foot first, and you're like, all right. Then
yeah,
you went
probably
for it. I was like, that's
telegraphed. I was
awesome.
like telegraphed a little bit. He kind of seen it coming. Just missed him with it, but it was fun. We you know, it was a good fight. Like there was no, you know,
Yeah.
there was no disrespect. It was respectful. You know, just going out there having fun, good sportsmanship.
They were awesome, man. They were good to work with. I
Mhm.
liked him, Jalen, and his team a lot. His dad, Rob, was also his head coach. They were good dudes, and like they were in touch afterwards. Like, if you guys ever need another opponent, like we'd love to fight for you again. So that's always cool when you can get an out of town guy that just comes in and shows respect and enjoys the show for sure.
Yeah, respect. I mean, I asked him after we talked, you know, briefly after the fight, and I was like, "How long did it take you to get out here?" He said like 7 hours or something. So it's like respect for that. Like you drove
real.
7 hours, you know, like
To take a hard
enemy
ass fight,
territory to take a tough fight.
Yeah.
Like props to that, you know. And then I like, you know, I just like reached out to him, messaged him afterwards. Was like, "Good fight, man."
Yeah. What did you think mid fight? Did you think it was 1-1 going to the third round, or do you really keep score?
I knew I had won the first round.
Yeah.
Like it was close. I didn't like, you know, just like I didn't like blow him out of the water. But I was like, unlike my other fights, I felt like this fight I was a little more patient and just a little bit more controlled.
Sure.
You know, like some of them punches looked a little bit wild. You know, it was like throwing some looping punches in there, but I initially wanted to hit him with more straight punches.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like some straight shots. He's doing a good job of like being evasive and kind of like circling out and cutting the angles and stuff. So I kind of like had to modify it a little bit to try to get my reach. I came close with a couple straight, you know, like I landed a couple straight lefts, but they didn't like connect like super hard. So it was kind of just trying to find my rage, trying to catch him on the way out, circling out and stuff like that. No, I thought it was a great fight. I'm glad I got to do some, a little bit of grappling. It wasn't like a whole bunch of grappling, but I think people have this kind of conception like I can't grapple or something, you know.
Do people think that?
I don't know. I don't know, maybe.
I never thought that, but I just assume anybody who trains at Stout knows how to grapple. Honestly, like
Henzo Gracie school. I had, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you guys training with each other all the time. You kind of have to learn how to grapple, or you're not going to survive on Saturday.
Right. Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Yeah. So, how much film were you able to watch on Jalen ahead of time? How much do you even care about film?
Well, all his fights, because he's been fighting for like B2 fighting series, I believe. Like most of his fights were on YouTube.
Yeah.
So like I watched a few of them, you know, like a few of his recent fights, and yeah, I know some guys don't like to watch tape. Some guys like to watch tape. I'm one of them guys. Like, if they have tape, if I can find it, like I'm not gonna go like pay to watch, you know, somebody's tape or something like that. But if I have access to it, I'll watch it, and I'll get like an idea what their tendencies are and like what they kind of like to do, and get like an idea, you know, and just kind of like try to think about that, you know, try to like, but you can't depend, like you can't really,
Right.
you don't really know what somebody's gonna do, what
guys
technique, how they're
evolve,
gonna come
man.
out. Like even if they might be fighting like orthodox and they come out southpaw, then what,
Yeah.
But I mean, like I spar with southpaws and orthodox. That doesn't really matter. But yeah, I get a little bit of an idea. I like to watch a little bit of tape if I can. But like I said, you can't rely on that stuff.
For sure. We talked about this fight a lot in the lead up, and I felt like the winner would establish himself as, if not the best, certainly a top 3 amateur flyweight in the nation. I think you're number 1 in PA now, 2 in the entire Northeast, something like that. What's next for you is the obvious question. Are you going to stick around at AMI? You going pro? What's the thought process?
So I did a podcast. I did one of them podcasts with Luke Payson.
Oh, yeah.
It was...
Dude, Luke's the man.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's a nice dude. I think it was like the day after the fight or something. I did a short one with him, and he was like, asked me the same thing. So
Yeah.
you think you need another couple fights? You want an AMI title from 247? I'm like, I don't think, and I've spoke with my coaches, obviously. I think I don't think there's anything else I really need to like prove at the amateur ranks. Like I'm 29 and I feel prepared. Like I feel like I'm fighting, like I'm prepared to go pro. You know what I mean? I don't know how much I would benefit from like continuing to fight amateur. Like I've already fought like a handful like top level dudes
For sure.
in my division. And I think the last like, other than Jalen, the last like 3-4 dudes I fought, they're all like pro now. You know what I mean? I could have gone pro after my Skylar Bray fight, but it's like, we wanted that more experience. I didn't want to go pro right after that. I wanted to like defend the title, get some more experience against different caliber guys, like different styles, just, so we're like fully prepared, you know what I mean? Just like making sure, and then my coaches make sure, like they'll tell me when I'm ready, you know
Definitely.
what I mean? But yeah, we kind of like sort of jumped the gun on the podcast with definitely gonna go pro next for my next fight, but I mentioned like you guys have a card in April.
Yeah.
And that would be cool. But right now, one of my goals is I want to focus on my jiu-jitsu a little bit because I want to like earn my purple belt.
Nice.
I've been a blue belt for like over 5 years, and that's just like with the coaching, and I'm like in the MMA training and stuff. Like so, it's like hard to like focus on one discipline and be like I'm in gi like other than coaching, I'm in like gi like once a week.
Sure.
Recently.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I want to like that's part of it. And I love jiu-jitsu. When I started at Stout, that's all I was doing for like, 6 months straight, 5-6 days a week. I fell in love with it. And then it's like, okay, this could be a really thing. I started with the Muay Thai and a fight team. And we got into it and then,
That's
on
awesome,
from
man.
there.
Yeah.
But now it's time. I want to, I want to properly earn my purple belt. I want to do an IBJJF.
Nice.
That's something I want to do. So I think I'm going to take a little bit of time. Still like, go to fight team training and stuff like that. I still do Muay Thai classes and work with the fight team guys. But like I want to focus on my jiu-jitsu for a little bit to level that up too. Because like I like submissions too. You know what I mean? Like
well,
good
clearly.
jiu-jitsu is entertaining to watch.
Yeah. I don't think anybody would watch that fight and think your jiu-jitsu was boring at all.
Right. I mean, there wasn't too many transitions or anything like that, but I mean, like half my wins are all my wins are by finish, either TKO or submission, or half and half. 3 TKOs, 3 submissions, and I just want to keep my game up because now we're gonna be pro, so there's gonna be a lot higher level jiu-jitsu guys,
No doubt.
higher level strikers. So I'm just gonna keep myself to that higher
For sure.
standard.
Well, you talk about it a lot, but obviously you work with pros on a regular basis too.
Right.
One that I think is interesting is Josh Pereira coming down to Stout a good bit now, because that was a common opponent for you and Jalen both. And now he's turning pro. Looks like his career is primed for good things. What's it like getting to work with him?
Right. Yeah, he's super nice, super good dude, like super respectful opponent, a high level martial artist. Like after we fought, like we literally went at the back, like did a shot with each other and everything. We're just like
Nice.
bullshit and having a good time. But yeah, it was cool because Luke is coming over and everything, and Josh came down. I don't know if I think he's only been down once. Like we sparred together, it was like good, it was like competitive, and like I wish that, you know, I'd been more. I know he was sick for the fight too. He got bit by a brown recluse.
Yeah, I heard about that. I think
That's
Lucas told me
gnarly.
that. Dude, that's insane.
Yeah,
Of
dude.
all things, like what?
I don't like spiders. If there's one thing, I don't like I could deal with snakes and everything, but like spiders, dude, nah.
Dude,
On
especially a
site.
brown recluse, like yeah.
No, dude.
I actually have a rule at my house where if it's outside, because like I get spiders all the time, just like hanging on the house and stuff, I leave them. As long as you stay out of the house, you get to live. But like the second you're in the house, it's game over.
Yeah. If they're in the house, they're definitely dead, and if they're outside, they're still pretty good
It's still
chance
dead
me.
for you.
Yeah. Pretty good chance.
Yeah.
Nope.
But a brown recluse, like just chilling in your shoe one morning, and then you,
Dude, I
that's
couldn't imagine.
terrifying. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. But yeah, no. So neither of us were really like 100% for that fight. So I think we both like wish it could have been like more. We would have got to display more of our skill set, you know,
For sure.
just like against each other, you know, it's like a mutual respect, you know.
Right.
And yeah, so like we've talked, like we've kind of both said like, yeah, we'd like to fight each other down the road when we're both pros. We have a proper fight down the road.
That's
It's like
awesome.
all respect though. You know what I mean?
That seems to be a theme with you guys, with Stout for sure. Miguel has kind of said the same thing about some guys. Like, doesn't need to be beef for us to fight. Like, we can remain friends after the fight. Like, this is business, especially once you go pro.
Yeah, it's business. It's a sport. You know, it's like it doesn't always have to be. It doesn't have to be It doesn't have to always be disrespectful.
Right.
I mean, some guys like to do that. I've never really had. I don't think I've ever really had a dude like try to be really disrespectful towards me before a fight.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Just doesn't make much sense, honestly.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like because like it's a fight, dude. Like anything can happen. Like you could be like 1,000% confident you're gonna win,
and still get clipped.
and like anything can happen.
Yeah.
dude. It's not 100% guarantee. So it's like
Sure.
if you're talking shit and then you get like knocked out, or like, you know, get whooped or something, then you
Right.
just look worse. So it's just
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Like, respect's kind of like the common denominator in most cases.
For sure. You mentioned a lot of things, you know, being sick, being inactive for a while. Obviously, this fight at BitB 15 was a huge return for you, huge win. Do you feel like things are settled in now, like your balls to the wall with your MMA career now?
Yeah, so yeah, that's like it's definitely something I like. If something you're passionate about and like you're good at, like you need to like triple down on it. Like this is what I want to do. Like I finally found, like I said, like I'm 29 now. Like your whole life you're trying to figure out like what am I here for? What am I gonna do for a living? You know what I mean? And like I definitely enjoy what I do, and like especially like the coaching. It's like super rewarding. Like I feel like that's my community service. Like I'm like doing a good thing for the kids and the kids in the community, and like, you know, the other fighters that are coming through and they want to have a future, and you know,
That's sick.
so I feel like I finally found my calling, what I'm here to do. And I still do body work part-time on the side at my uncle's shop out in Portersville. Shout out DeLess Auto Body. I'll be kicking myself in the ass later over that one, because everybody's be like, yo, fix my car, and be like, I got a fight coming up, I can't.
Nope, can't do it.
Yeah, I got like $100,000 Lincoln Navigator sitting in the garage right now.
Oof.
I had to like put on hold to keep ready for this
Nice.
fight, because I was like, dude, I'm not going in there and like inhaling all this dust and chemicals and stuff, and like risking getting sick.
That's terrible, yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna kind of go back and like finish up what I need to finish up at the shop, and I think I'll always do body work on the side, but I think ultimately this is where I'm supposed to be. That's in the MMA community.
Yeah. Well, dude, it's very clear watching you, and I've thought this for a long time before this fight too. Like some guys just naturally get it. You just see guys who look very comfortable. I thought the same thing about Siebert in his amateur debut. Like I saw his debut and I was like, he's just comfortable fighting. There's certain guys who get in there and they just look like they've done this a million times, and that's how you've looked from the first time I ever saw you fight. Like it's clear that's just a part of you.
Yeah, I mean, you always get like there comes a point like this fight, dude. I was like so calm for this fight. Like I was so gathered. Like I was just so content, like knowing like, okay, I'm healthy. I'm prepared for this, and I like know my skill level, and like trust in my skills and my coaches, my teammates.
Right.
So I was like super duper chill like the whole way through the fight, just composed. Previous fights, like been composed, but like you always get like not necessarily nervous, but you get that little bit of jitters, you know, like the excitement,
Sure.
you know, like almost like a roller coaster, something you're excited for. You're like, here we go.
Yeah.
You know, but I was like having more experience now. I was just like able to control that all better. Like I knew where I was at. I knew what I was doing. You're going to go in the cage for like, you know, potentially like, well, for us, it's like 3 3-minute rounds. You might going to go in there for like potentially 9 minutes. And then after that, you're going to be back with your friends and family, like go take a shower, you know, be chilling, drinking, you know, like drinking whatever you want to drink, eating pizza, burgers, whatever.
Yeah.
Everything's all good. So it's like, yeah, just like a little bit better mindset.
How did you celebrate? What's the Mason DeLess drinking food?
Nothing crazy this time, honestly. Like, I think we got some like Chinese food, you know, like we went and got some Texas Roadhouse the day after, you know, nothing too crazy.
Nothing crazy. Do you drink?
Too crazy.
Was there a drinking?
No, not this time actually. No, I don't think I even had like a beer or anything. I don't drink that heavy. Like I used to drink a little bit more socially.
Yeah.
But like once in a while I'll have like a drink, you know, like whatever it is, like we're doing like liquor, beer, whatever.
Who does
I'll have a drink occasionally, but like I don't like feeling like shit the next day. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
you don't turn into John Jones after a fight.
Yeah, no, none of that.
Nice. Who was the sponsor you posted? Was that DeLess Auto Body that had the little sign up?
Oh no, so that was actually my buddy Pat and Sarah Rogers. Their family has Meridian Off-Road Center. My uncle used to be like part of that way back in the day too. But yeah, they're like some of my best friends and stuff. They actually have their own clothing company.
Oh, nice.
Some like rocking their From the Flames Customs. They make their own clothing, you know, like they do their own clothing company. So they're trying to like do that, you know, like some entrepreneurs.
That's
and
cool,
then
man.
And then my buddy Alex Kovacs from We Are Villains, rocking his beanie. I was just like talking to him a little bit ago. So yeah, just supporting local, you know, people, local guys, like local businesses, local dudes on the come up. You know what I mean? So it was like I seen they put "Congrats Mason DeLess" on Big Win Brawl in the Burgh on their sign right on the side of like 422.
I loved that. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, that
oh,
was
they
so
didn't
cool,
tell you they were going to do that?
No, I just seen it when they put it on their Instagram story. I was like,
awesome.
oh, that's sweet. I'm like, yeah, I'm going on the podcast. I'll have to rock one of your shirts for sure.
Hell yeah, man. See, I love stuff like that because it all comes around, man. You know it as a local fighter. Like, you need sponsor support too when you're going through camps and stuff. We as a local business need, obviously, people to buy tickets and support us by the stream. Like, it all circles back around. Like, right now, you're hearing the beanie and the shirt. Like, I'll always give props when I can as well. Like, it feels good to support each other.
Yeah, it's like advertise. You know, like word of mouth is the best advertisement. You know what I mean? Like you got to support your people. You know, and like I remember like my second fight, Alex Kovacs with We Are Villains. He was like just kind of starting out. Like he was, you know, like just kind of starting out. But my buddy Travis had one of his shirts. I was like, oh, that's a cool shirt. I was like, yo, get a hold of your boy. I was like, let me know. I was like, if you throw me a shirt and I'll walk out in the shirt. Like it was on my second enemy fight, so it was like a nobody.
Sure.
But I'm like, dude, I was like, throw me a shirt and I'll walk out in it. He threw me a shirt, I walked out, got the dub. So it was like cool. And then now he's like progressed and like he's making an empire now, as Pat and Sarah are doing with their From the Flames Customs. They're doing that. You know, they're on their way up too. So it's just like, you got to support your local people.
Love it, man. That's sick. So immediate future for Mason DeLess looks like a lot of jiu-jitsu, then a pro MMA debut maybe after that.
Summer probably, somewhere in the summer.
We do have a July 15th card as well, just saying.
All right, I'll keep it in my calendar for sure.
There we go. We'd love to have you back, obviously, man. But regardless, I tell everybody this, like, if you fight for us, obviously, we love that. I'm not going to act like I don't want all the local fighters to fight for us, because obviously I do, but like we're going to support you no matter where you go, man. This thing's bigger than us. Like what we're trying to build is ultimately bigger than us. So we just want to see the local community flourish, man. I can feel the momentum for sure right now.
Yeah, 100%. Like you guys put on a great show. Like the production is excellent. You know, I've fought and the only other I fought for Ohio Combat League like a few times, but other than that, I haven't fought for the same promotion more than once.
Oh wow.
So it's always been like a different promotion. So I've seen like several different promotions how they put on a show. And Ohio Combat League does a really good job too.
Mm-hmm.
But like you guys do a really good, like you guys do a really good job too. And especially like it's local, it's hometown.
Yeah,
That's
right.
like 3 hours away. I'm
Exactly.
like, I don't expect my people to drive 3 hours away. Like they do.
Right.
But I don't expect them to drive 3 hours away for something that could last like, potentially
never
60
know.
seconds. You never know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like Miguel's fight, like, dude, you can just
that
get
dude's
caught.
savage.
You just get caught.
Yeah, you just get caught.
He's nuts, bro. Like I've heard a
Yeah.
lot of people talking, and a lot of people like looked at his record, especially when he was 2-2, and they saw a 500 fighter because they just look at Tapology. But I had heard from everybody training with them, like, watch out for this kid, and now he's showing exactly why.
We always say records are for DJs. 'Cause
Hey,
you can never
nice.
really tell. You can never really tell like how somebody good is just based off the
Right.
record.
Right.
You know what I mean? But dude, that kid's a savage.
He's unreal.
I've been training. He's like been one of my main dudes for like the last 5 years. Like before, like from the time my first fight, he's been there at the gym when Stout was at the old location above Costume World in the Strip District. But yeah, that dude's going places.
He's so kind and unassuming outside of the cage, just like a nice,
He's such a wholesome
gentle
dude.
being.
Yeah, he's a
And
good dude for sure.
Then as soon as you touch gloves, dude, it's game
Dude,
on.
his cardio like regimen is insane.
Is it? Nice.
Yeah, like when he was in the military, he's like
Sure.
he got into like running. He just kind of like fell in love with it.
He was saying that he likes running, and I was like,
Yeah.
dude, what's wrong with you,
I'm
bro?
like-
Nobody likes running.
Yeah, I don't really like running, but
Well, he hasn't needed much cardio these past 2 fights.
no, that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, he I was up. I think it was yesterday. I'm not usually up super early in the morning, but like I didn't have anything like going on immediately the next morning. I was like up a little bit late, and then I ended up like not being able to fall asleep. I was like up till like 5:30 in the morning. But like about to pass out, and Miguel texted me at like 5 o'clock in the morning. He's like, dude, I think I'm gonna go to Cali to get some training in, and like
Just constantly
March
thinking
or
about
April.
the next
Yeah,
step.
like March, like February or March or something like that. He's like, you want to go to Cali with me? I'm like, dude, that'd be cool, because I've never been to Cali, and like
Nice.
I have no insulation on my body. I don't like the cold. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like the cold, so I'm like, oh, some warm weather would be cool. I've
It
never been
wouldn't
to
be the
Cali
worst
and
thing.
go get some training out there, have a little vacay, you know,
Yeah.
with my boys. So that'd be cool.
That's sick, dude.
That's in the works. We'll see about that.
Hell yeah. Well, I'll definitely say it since Stout is already cool with it and Miguel's cool with it, but we're looking for a title fight for him on April 15th. I would love in Washington, in his hometown, man, let him fight for the title at 135. So that's a good test for him before he goes pro too.
Yeah.
Make sure he can make 135, obviously.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure he
He should
won't
be
have a
able to
problem
make
with
it. Like he
yeah.
has good, he is as good a mindset as
Right.
you can have. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he's disciplined, and I think he's working with Immortal
Yeah.
Optimization, if I
Yeah.
got that right.
Yeah, Immortal Diet Optimization. They've been great.
So
They helped me with my weight cut.
Did they?
Yeah,
they?
he
Dude,
really
it was
did.
like you were looking thin.
Shit,
at
wasn't that
weigh-ins,
crazy?
dude. You
Bro,
were
my
looking thin to
lips,
weigh-in.
my lips were like stuck together. My mouth was
Were you
so dry.
dehydrated? Did
Oh,
you get
dude.
some Pedialyte in you?
So Eddie, I actually got liquid IV. He had
Okay.
he gave me like the rehydration plan too. So I was just following what he told me, man. Shit worked.
Yeah, for sure.
That was my
dude.
first time ever in a sauna, like cutting weight for anything. So that it was
How
brutal,
was the
man.
sauna sessions? What
Not good.
What was the
10 minutes a piece. So
10
I did
minutes?
10-minute sauna, then 10-minute treadmill, 10-minute sauna, 10-minute treadmill, and I alternated that for an hour, and then went to weigh-ins and made it. So
nice,
in my
dude.
underwear too. I had to get
Dude,
down to the
yes, sir.
underwear.
Yeah, dude, that's what's up. Respect.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
So yeah, I'm sure Miguel will make it, dude. Like
I'm sure he
if I
will.
can, that's
if
kinda,
he can make it, he will.
Yeah,
you know what I
right,
mean? Like
right.
he made 140, and like he was pretty like if he had to, he could have done the extra.
Sure.
You know, it's like he knew what he needed to be at. He knew
Yeah.
he needed to only be like 140.
Yep.
So like that was his goal. But,
Yeah. So that's the
know.
plan for that, dude. So if you go to Cali with him too, that'll be sweet. We'll definitely have to
that'd be
catch
super
up
dope.
after
That'd
that.
be super cool. I'd like that. I noticed you also at the weigh-ins. I noticed you were wearing a Butler Brewworks hat.
Yeah.
Butler Brewworks beanie.
Dude, I love Butler Brewworks. Those guys are the best. First of all, shout out them. They're open. They just opened that new location too.
Well, okay, so you've been to Brewworks, but have you been to Chop Shop?
I haven't been to Chop Shop, but I know all about it. I've heard.
Dude,
I gotta
Dude.
change that.
you got to change
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
If I had to go to Chop Shop or Butler Brew Works, 10 out of 10, I'm going to Chop Shop.
Oh,
dude, the food.
Okay, all right,
Dude,
fair
it
enough.
is the, like, no, like, not even being biased. Like, it is the best place to eat in Butler, hands down.
Oh, do they have a specialty? Is it like
They have
everything's
like
good?
weekly. Yeah, they have like daily specials, weekly specials.
But
like,
if I
soup
go,
of the
is there
day.
like something you say like, dude, you got to get this?
Dude, okay, so get the tater tot poutine.
Okay, I'm in already
You
on that.
can't go wrong with that, dude. Oh my god, so good. They got some, like, you can't really go wrong with anything.
Yeah.
there. Everything's like homemade. Like everything's homemade. Like it's not like, it's like not like frozen. Shit.
Sure.
Like it's like
This sounds
good
awesome.
homemade stuff. The guy Bill Atkinson. I was actually a chef before. Like I was like a cook before.
Oh shit, nice.
Before I got in auto body work, and I worked at the Brick House in Butler, which was like next door. And Bill's been in the food industry his whole life, and they had just got the building next to us, which is now the Chop Shop. So I like grew to kind of like know him a little bit and stuff like that.
That's
And
awesome.
after I left the Brick House and like got into auto body and stuff, I gone in Chop Shop. I'm like, dude, this is like next level shit.
Ugh, nah, dude, I'm getting hungry. I'm hungry right now. Just
Dude.
thinking about it. I think my parents have been there. So my parents live in West Sunbury, right outside Butler. So when I go up to see them, obviously I go to Brewworks usually because I love beer too. That was the hardest part of cutting weight, by the way, was cutting out
the
beer.
beer?
Yeah, 100%.
Like
The
go with
biggest
some
craving.
Michelob Ultra, only 95 calories.
No, I just didn't touch any. I said, screw it. Like, I'm off all alcohol. Why even tease myself,
Right.
So, but yeah, many beers were had after weigh-ins for sure.
Many beers. Nice.
Dude, but Chop Shop. Okay, I'm going to check it out.
Check
for
it
sure.
out, dude. Chop Shop. Shout out.
Is it right on Main Street too?
It's right on Main
I thought
Street,
so.
dude.
Okay.
You can't miss it. They got some like cool, like old, they got some like cool signs, and like all the insides like old like road signs, and like it's a cool atmosphere.
Nice.
Service is good, and the food is like off the charts.
Hell
It's
yeah.
like it's the closest thing. Like, okay, so like Pittsburgh's like a culinary mecca,
Yeah.
right? Like there's like so many like
It's crazy.
it's the
yeah.
it's like the closest thing you can get to like the food in Pittsburgh, and it's like I've been recently eating a lot of stuff in Pittsburgh. It's better than
Most of it.
a lot. It's
Nice.
like Chop Shop's better than a lot of places in Pittsburgh.
That's awesome. Have you been to Fat Butcher yet for your boy Steve Dawson?
No, no.
Dang.
I've heard of it. I don't really know what it is.
I
think
thought
I've
for
heard
sure like all the
great
stout guys were just all over that.
Fat Butcher. I've seen like
I guess you're in Zealy a lot, right?
yeah,
That's-
most of the time. Yeah, most of the time. So
fair.
I'll do. I'm an instructor out in Zillionople, our
Right.
Zillionople location. We got like 4 locations now. Because I'm in Butler. That's like 20, 25 minutes away from me.
Right,
The
right.
strip district's like 50.
Yeah,
over 50 minutes, which I'm down there a couple times a week. But it'd be hard to like be consistently like teaching down there.
Got you. Yeah, I kind of set you up to fail with that lead in. That's my bad. I forgot
it's
you were
all
up in
good.
Zealy.
Yeah, no, it's
now
all
you look
good.
like a dick. Like, no, what? This guy?
What? I ain't never going to the strip.
But yeah, you guys got a purple belt that opened up a butcher shop in Lawrenceville. Steve Dawson,
Okay.
Fat Butcher.
All right,
So,
very nice.
Yeah,
I'll look
he's
in.
awesome.
Yeah, I'll look into that.
Go
little deeper.
meet up. Yeah. Do you cook? Do you cook at home? I know you
Oh
just
yeah,
said. Okay.
dude. Everybody, yeah.
Nice.
Everybody in my family can cook,
Hell yeah,
so it's nice. My brother actually works at the Chop Shop.
dude. Just stealing.
Yeah,
that.
he was like working at like a Texas Roadhouse in Butler for a little bit, and then like he was kind of sick of that.
I'm
he
sure.
was gonna get like a job at Sheetz. I'm like, dude,
What are you
I'm
doing?
like, what are you doing? I'm like, you want a job? I'm like, what do you want to do? And like, we all love to cook. Like, he was
Yeah.
like cooking a little bit before that. I'm like, dude, you want a job? I'll go talk to Bill down at Chop
That's
Shop.
awesome. Nice.
And he's like, really? You think you get me? I'm like, yeah. And like, I
Definitely.
wouldn't even like suggested it to Bill if he wasn't a good worker.
Sure,
like, he's a
sure.
good, like he's a good employee. He's a good
Well, yeah,
worker.
you knew
kid
your
can
word
hustle.
was going to be on that. Yeah.
Right. I knew my ass was on the
Yeah,
line. You
right.
know, my reputation was on the line. So yeah, he's one of their
Hell
main
yeah.
dudes now. You know.
What's your favorite thing to cook? Like, what would be your specialty dish?
So I like I was into like a little bit of everything, but like my favorite station was saute.
Okay.
Like I love pasta. I love pasta. So like different Alfredos, you know, like anything saute. You know,
Nice.
like I could work a grill, I could work whatever. But like to get a flat top for at home, like a flat top grill. I'd like to get one of those for at home because those are clutch. You could do like pretty much anything on a flat top.
Dude, the Blackstone, like we got a Blackstone a couple summers ago, and it is definitely a game changer. We use that thing constantly.
Oh yeah, I might have to look into that. I think they have.
Yeah, they're super like cheap now too. I feel like everybody makes them.
They have ones for like your grill. Or like they have ones for your stove and stuff. But
yeah, just turn into a little hibachi station.
Yeah, dude.
And roll.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm hungry. This podcast made me hungry. I'm definitely weighing heavyweight in April.
I'm good. I'm good. I was like, oh, I can eat now. So I got like 2 sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffins on the way down here. I was like, I can eat McDonald's again.
Bulking season.
Carb loading. Whopping 136 pounds.
Giant. He's giant. Are you a candy guy?
Yeah, I like candy.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Sour Patch Kids, Skittles, Starburst.
Dude, that's Danny Palm's realm. 100%.
Love the Skittles and Sour Patch Kids.
Can't go wrong.
Nice.
Chocolate's okay, but I'm not so much a chocolate and peanut butter guy as I am like
sour
I like
candy.
the fruity. Yeah, I like
right.
the fruity shit. Yeah.
Fair.
Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah.
Danny Palm's a big. He actually used to do a bunch of snack reviews on Instagram too. So he's balls deep in that world.
Dude, you still do any food? You still do any of the candy reviews?
Dude, I want to bring him back to the studio. We got to do him
Dude,
here.
Do him right here.
Dude,
do him right here.
Dude, let me know. I'll come in. We do some reviews together.
Well, you got anything on you, Danny Palm? You stay strapped with that Sour Patch Kids bag?
Nah, I don't got any on me right now.
Dude, the ones you got to get, dude, the best Sour Patch Kids are the big heads. Like the 2-in-1, the big heads.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
Dude, I don't know what it is.
In one, perfect.
Dude, I don't know what it is. There's something they're just better. And they're actually I think they're actually a little bit more sour for some reason. I'm not sure.
We'll run it back. Next time you're here, I'm bringing those for sure.
Bet. Sounds good.
Dude, this was awesome, man. I appreciate you coming in. Obviously, I appreciate you putting on a show Saturday too. We're still buzzing from that event, man. Everything went well. The crowd was sick. Everything super smooth. So thanks for being a part of it, man. I'm glad you're back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. And yeah, I think I knew I had like a whole bunch of people I wanted to like.
Yeah, dude.
Obviously, like Mike and Will. You know what I mean? Like, they're the bread and butter to our team. You know what I mean? Like, but I think a guy that doesn't really ever get, he doesn't really get shouted out too much is Warren.
Right.
I mean, like, Warren's, if it wasn't for Warren, we wouldn't have Mike or Will. We wouldn't have the team we have.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, he's kind of like in the shadows. You might not see him all the time, but his like presence is always there. He's like elusive. He's like a mythical creature. But yeah. So like, just want to give thanks to Warren and Isaac Greeley too, because Chris Dempsey. I think it was like about a month before this fight, I'd hurt my back. I like pulled my back. I was like teaching. I had to like cover some classes. I taught like 4 classes back to back, and the last one was like an advanced striking class where we do like a little bit of light sparring. So I like taught 4 classes back to back, and we like kind of went right into like some light controlled sparring, and I didn't really have time to like warm up. So we went into light sparring, and we were just like moving around doing some like jab sparring. I like went jab high, jab low, and as I lowered my level, I felt something in my back pull. I'm like, oh, that's not good, and it got like super tight. And then I kind of like finished the round, just like being a hard ass, just like finished the round. I'm good. I'm good.
It's not good.
So I finished the round, and after I sat down, like I couldn't get up.
Oh,
I literally couldn't get up. And then I started to get like worried. I'm like, dude, did I slip a disc or something? Like I'm like freaking out. So I know Isaac Greeley has he's got his practice with the chiropractor, like all that stuff. So I like reached out to him, and he's like, I like called him. He's like, yeah, what's up, buddy? I'm like, dude, my back's messed up. Is there anything you could do? He's like, yeah, go. He's like, he sent me to one of his places.
That's awesome.
And I like walk in the door, and Bobby Murda's sitting there. I'm like, dude, what are you doing here?
Just
and they got me
tuned
taken
up.
care of. So like, huge shout out.
Which location? Which rehab
Thank you,
center
Isaac.
did you go to?
What was the street called? I can't remember. It was like near AGH.
Okay.
It was like it was in Pittsburgh near AGH. I can't remember what the street was.
Okay.
I can't remember what the
Yeah,
building was,
they have a ton of locations now, so I just wasn't sure which one he sent you off to.
Isaac wasn't there. He was probably at
Right.
one of his other locations, but
It's awesome, man.
Bobby Murda was there.
Clearly, the fight doctors at
The
the
fight
rehab
doctor.
center. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
He'll fix you or he'll break you. One or the other.
That's
Whatever you.
that's my favorite business model ever. Rehab center, chiropractic attached to the mat factory. That's so perfect.
Yeah, it was good. So, Yeah, I just want to make sure I give shout out like everybody that's helped me along the way. You know, I mean, like there's people that I probably am forgetting, but it's like anywhere from anyone on the fight team to just the guys in the gym, just like just the normal guys that they're not looking to fight, they're maybe not even looking to like compete jiu-jitsu or anything. They're just like some staple people that are always at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like good energy and great community in the Pittsburgh area between us and the other local gyms.
For sure, man. And growing every day.
Growing every day. It's on the way up. It's kind of crazy. Like Pittsburgh MMA scene is like
coming back, baby.
Yeah. I mean, I think the MMA scene in general, like overall, like it's like a rapid growing sport, but I think we're starting to let people know like Pittsburgh is an MMA.
For sure, man. Well, we're going to keep stacking these cards, promoting you guys, man. It's an honor to work with you and the whole Stout team. So let's keep it rolling,
it's an honor
brother.
to be here.
Thanks, dude. Thanks for stopping in.
Thank you.
I'm getting Chop House after this, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.
Chop shop.
Chop shop.
Chop shop.